Good morning.
Buongiorno a tutti.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks very much for coming along. I apologise about the slight delay. The Conference of Presidents overran, and the President is now going to brief you on various issues, particularly Brexit.
Allora, buongiorno, grazie.
So good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming along. The Conference of Presidents meeting was the first one after the summer holidays, and it was fascinating. We noted the Commission candidate list. We started to organise the programme for the hearings for the new commissioners, and it's going to take us up to October the 23rd. That's when there's going to be a vote in plenary in Strasbourg, when we'll vote to approve the new commissioners. The thing that you'll be most interested in, I think, though, on between the 30th of September and October the 8th, that's when the hearings are going to be held in the European Parliament for the commissioners designate. They're going to be held 2 every morning and 2 every afternoon. They'll be held in parallel, of course, because each commissioner needs to have all of the Parliament committees who we wanted to question him or her about the portfolio that the commissioner will be dealing with. So as I've said, that whole process will end with a final vote on the 23rd of October in Strasbourg, and that will allow the new commission to take office on November the 1st. When it comes to the relationship between Commission and Parliament, I can tell you that political groups made some comments about certain portfolios, the names that have been given to certain portfolios, and so I took the liberty of getting in touch and asking Ms. von der Leyen to come to the Conference of Presidents so that she could listen to the views of the political groups. That'll happen next week in Strasbourg. The second big decision. Before the summer, in the part session, we promised that there would be a debate on foreign external interference in Europe. Now, you'll be aware that this is an issue which many of you have raised, and investigation has thrown some light on this, and the political groups have asked to talk about it, and we decided today not just to debate it, but to wind up the debate with a resolution. The political groups will, of course, be coming up with a resolution, the ones who have been particularly keen on getting that discussion. The next item on the agenda, as you'll be aware, of course, is Brexit. We've invited Mr. Barnier to come to the next Conference of Presidents meeting to tell us about the state of play so we can get a better idea of the positions of the EP contact group and also the chief negotiator's position, and assess the most recent developments in an issue which, as you'll be aware, tends to have something new happening every day. It's obviously not our place to get involved in the internal debate in the UK, but we are going to have, of course, to firm up a European Parliament and European Union position. There's a great deal of agreement with the positions that have already been adopted by Mr. Barnier. and the European People's Party, the S&D Group, and Renew Europe, the Greens and the GUE, have decided to table a resolution in the next part session next week in Strasbourg. A resolution will approve of the work that's been done so far and will re-establish the key points of the European position and stress the unity which exists on the European Union side and the institutions side on this particular issue. You'll be aware of all of this because you're the people who report on our debates to the public, and you're aware that we talk about all of these issues, and there's often a great deal of difference of opinion on issues in Europe, but on Brexit there's a great deal of unity, and Parliament wants to keep that unity going and update it when the situation changes. The resolution I mentioned in 3 parts. First of all, has a political declaration. Second part is on no deal, and the third part is on a possible extension of Article 50. On the political declaration and the withdrawal agreement, Parliament continues to believe that a orderly departure of the UK is the goal which we should be searching for, and that a political agreement is the way of getting it. The withdrawal agreement that has been negotiated is the best possible agreement as far as we are concerned, particularly bearing in mind the inherent difficulties with Brexit and the positions that are regarded as being red lines by both sides because they guarantee legal certainty and set up governance mechanisms which make sure that the agreement will be applied correctly, and because they also protect the rights and life choices of European and British citizens. Obviously, the backstop is the main stumbling block in the negotiations. Here, the resolution stresses a very clear message. You can't have an agreement without the backstop. It couldn't really be any clearer. That's the position of the European Commission, the position of the European institutions, including the European Parliament. And don't forget, Parliament will have the last word. After that, I can say that we're perfectly happy to examine any proposals which are made. We're not ruling anything out. If solutions are proposed, they will be debated, all of them, provided they, of course, respect the guiding principles of the European Union. But up to now, I can say, and I'd like to stress this point, the United Kingdom hasn't proposed any alternatives. And anything that's been legally credible, if I can put it that way, and workable. On our side, I'd like to say that we are willing to go back to the original EU proposal. This is a very significant point. It's really an act of trust in dialogue and discussion. We're willing to go back to the original EU proposal, which is that a backstop will only be valid for Northern Ireland. We're happy to look at the political declaration again and make it into a legally binding document and conclude an association agreement which, of course, if it's sufficiently rooted, would make a backstop unnecessary. And then there's a question that's dealt with in the resolution, which is the question of the no-deal scenario. The resolution stresses the concern of the Parliament on recent developments in the debate in the United Kingdom and the breaking off of negotiations, which do bring us closer to the possibility of no deal. We believe there's too much rigidity and this rigidity is something that's being reified into the date of October the 31st. Now, the resolution says that if there is a no-deal departure, that will be entirely the responsibility of the United Kingdom. And of course it's still bound by its financial obligations and the need to respect the rights of citizens as well as the Good Friday Agreement. The resolution is absolutely unambiguous on this matter. And Parliament will not give consent to any agreement that doesn't address these issues and contain them. And that brings me on to the resolution from the previous Parliament, where we said we didn't want to ever have to face the UK with an ultimatum. Then there's the issue of extension. The resolution says that we are open to a possible extension, provided that it's something that's done for overriding reasons, like avoiding no deal, having a general election, or extending Article 50. That's the content basically of the resolution, which will put Parliament, as I say, on the same footing as the other institutions in clarifying what our position is. It's an issue which we didn't ask for, but we do fully respect the parties involved. What we want to do, of course, is defend the interests of the European Union, but also we want to look after the interests not only of European citizens but UK citizens as well. And we hope that the institutions in the United Kingdom will work to the same goal. We deeply wish that, because this issue, this matter, is terribly painful as far as we are concerned. But we've reached a moment where we really need to express our positions with firmness and clarity. Thank you very much indeed.
La proposición de resolución.
Thank you very much, President. The text of the resolution will be available at the back of the room a bit later, and also on the Parliament website. And now we will take some questions.